What's up? It's John from RealGamerNewz, and you're watching RGN Today. Today in gamer history, May 1995, the Sega Saturn was released. Unfortunately, the Sega Saturn marked the beginning of the end for Sega as a hardware manufacturer, as a number of mistakes were made during the process, including launching too quickly after the Sega CD and Sega 32X add-ons for Genesis, and lacking third-party developer support such as EA Games, who jumped ship when the console launched. This, in addition to a pair of other issues, including Sega abandoning their online system Sega Channel, ultimately led to their demise. However, the Sega Saturn is held in most people's hearts as an excellent system, with many classics such as Shining Force 3 still to this day holding up. If you've never tried the Sega Saturn, you should definitely check it out. They may be hard to find these days, but they will always be a part of gaming history. PlayStation VR 2.0 has been leaked by Sony Patents and includes room scale VR, which they're calling real world position, multiplayer VR with two players being in the same room as each other, facial tracking, finger tracking, eye tracking, built-in 3D audio earphones, and even a foot tracking add-on called the 3D Rudder, which will be available for sale separately. In addition to this, Call of Duty World War II is free on PlayStation Plus starting today. Quantic Dream has also announced that they'll be releasing Detroit Become Human, Beyond Two Souls, and Heavy Rain on Steam. The Black Ops 4 campaign, which was cancelled, was leaked. I know, right? More and more leaks. This joins the Xbox original source code leaking and 3DS source code leaking, as well as the Nintendo Wii source code leaking, and a bunch of Pokemon games leaking. But this one was leaked by an alleged game tester. The footage is currently on Reddit, uploaded by the username ForeverDexus at r/BlackOps4. Unfortunately, we are unable to show most of the footage due to copyright restrictions. Go check it out in the Reddit r/BlackOps4 subreddit before Activision takes it down, if you're interested. But to be honest, the overall quality looks pretty poor. I'm glad that was cancelled, so the development team had more time to focus on Blackout, the Battle Royale for Black Ops 4, which ended up heavily inspiring Warzone, the Battle Royale for Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
And now for the quick news. The Nintendo 3DS source code has been leaked, adding to a number of leaks which has been growing lately. The Nintendo data mine has resulted in Pokemon leaks, Nintendo Wii source code leak, and now Nintendo 3DS source code. In addition to this, Microsoft has announced that the Xbox original source code has also been leaked. While these leaks could assist in emulation, unfortunately, it would be illegal for emulation developers to use the tools, since the way that they were acquired is not through official means. However, that does not mean that we won't see improvements to ongoing emulation and code written from scratch which benefited of these source codes being looked at. Coincidence or not, 3DS emulator Citra has been ported to the hacked Switch platform by the homebrew community, and Pokemon Diamond and Pearl source codes have also been leaked. In addition to these, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition has leaked early. The actual game itself can be played on hacked Switches through piracy, although that is not recommended, and homebrew mods have already begun development using Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition hacked copy in order to increase the resolution of the game, which has been reportedly having issues with terms of frame rate and resolution, which can be easily solved by slightly overclocking the Nintendo Switch hardware and changing the way that the software is engaging the chip. The horror movie-inspired Dead by Daylight game will receive a Silent Hill DLC as well. This comes after rumors have been once again fueled that Konami and Kojima have been working together on a new Silent Hill project which Sony is overseeing and Konami is simply licensing. Is it true? We're not sure, but we are seeing Konami finally doing some activity with the Silent Hill franchise, so at least there's a small amount of hope. And now it's time for RGN Analysis, where we break down one industry topic per day.
For For today's RGN analysis, I want to talk about the future of game events. I definitely think that we're headed in the direction like today's Wholesome event was, where we're going to be having sort of niche events which are planned for certain segments of the game industry. Example, you might see an RPG event soon. JRPG, turn-based gaming, is very popular, but seems to be in a specific crowd of people who prefer pixel art games or even 3D action adventure RPGs. I think we're going to be seeing things like that. As well, we may be seeing a shooter event pop up, like a Call of Duty may actually host their own event, for example. Sony will definitely be hosting PlayStation events, Microsoft be hosting Xbox events, and so on. I think this is a really good thing for the industry. I think that it's better to have the attention of everyone who's watching you and showing them something that you definitely know they want to see, rather than something like an E3 where they're competing, spending millions of dollars to advertise to us. And we may actually just skip the other versions because there's so much going on at once. Say if you don't play Nintendo games. You might have watched the Nintendo show if it happened by itself at some point during the year, but if it happens at the same exact time as the Xbox and PlayStation show and you need to watch those, plus third-party companies like Ubisoft and EA, basically everybody needs their own room to breathe, and I believe that events will be half digital, half physical nowadays. Much less crowded at the events. E3 will not return to the top slot. I believe it's lost its popularity, and new events are coming for that crown. Game-specific events, genre-specific events, like I said, you might see a Pokemon event. You might see sort of like a Stardew Valley or more indie events around certain themes that are in the indie game industry. Definitely niche events are the future, not general events. But I do believe that we're going to be seeing general events still exist. Like Gamescom will remain a huge pillar of the industry, I believe. E3 will be there, but it will be a smaller issue now that there's been some mixed signals during the plannings of the 2020 event, which never ended up happening. Jeff Keighley seems to me like he will lead the arena in events, and the Game Awards will likely become the #1 general event for each year. So Game Awards, congratulations. You're now the Super Bowl of video games. For today's community comments. On our last episode, DJ Killzone Jones mentioned The Last of Us 2 is being spoiled in comments section. Be careful out there, everybody, on YouTube. Next Gold said, we better be seeing full-on VR in our lifetime so I can download RGN into my living room and have tea. Thanks so much for that one. And Yoda the Third says, I can't wait for the Serious Sam 4 awesomeness. Yeah, it's definitely a great series. I agree with that. Drop a comment below and we'll read it on the next show.
And now for the good news, where we give you today's positive side of gaming. For today's good news, you can head over to RealGamerNewz.com for a full wrap-up of today's positive side in gaming, which was, hands down, the Wholesome Direct. Wholesome Direct 2020 is a brand new event which will occur every year. WholesomeGames.com broadcasts this event with 50 games showcased from the indie games side of the business, including Little Witch in the Woods, Rainy Season, Spiritfarer, Skatebird, Garden Story, Chicory, Ooblets, Book of Travels, and much more. Subtitles are available in English, Brazilian, Portuguese, Dutch, French, German, and Latin American Spanish, and partners included Witchbeam, Thunder Lotus, Kind Words, Sunny Side Up, Finji, Humble Bundle, Co-op, Ghost Pattern, Might and Delight, Subliminal, Tree Interactive, Blue Curse, Catch and Release, Crytivo, The Game Bakers, Whitethorn Games, and many more names. From these developers and more, we saw a myriad of inspiring, one-of-a-kind games which were shown off at today's inaugural Wholesome Direct. The theme of this variety of games across multiple platforms like Epic Game Store, Steam, Apple Arcade, Nintendo Switch, etc. is obviously that they're all wholesome. These are games which are designed to experience a wide range of human emotions, gaining enjoyment and entertainment through peaceful titles or games which focus on compassion and life stories. But all around, the gameplay is meant to be fun. Some of our favorites included Little Witch in the Woods, Button Squad, Mondo Museum, and Garden Story. But there's too many to name. Alchemic Cutie is also looking like a great one. Depending on how much you love RPGs, you should find a ton of unique prospects for yourself. Head over to RealGamerNewz.com where we have every game from the Wholesome Direct 2020. For our final verdict, This was a very well put together event by people who clearly know what they're doing and avoided many pitfalls of presentations like this while capitalizing on what works best. The entire theme of wholesome gaming is a positive one for the game industry right now, which is helping the world cope with global events ongoing. We look forward to continuing to see niche events like this, which revolve around a particular theme with a passionate community behind them. This is certainly a bright future for parts of the trade event industry to partake in, and we are excited about that. If you like our video, thumbs up and subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified about each new video we make.
Gotta get the follows.
Thanks for checking out today's video. Like and subscribe and ring the bell notification so you don't miss out on future videos. Peace.